So, I'm just going to go ahead and start this without doing no openings. Now, I've been asked about this a lot on the outside of YouTube. What's your thoughts on Roe V Wade, the overturning of it, things of that nature? And I'm kind of in the middle ground of it. I try to stay middle ground. I try to see everybody's perspective. And I get both people's sides. You know what I mean? You don't want people to tell you what to do with your body. Totally understandable. Now, I'm going to give you a couple different perspectives, different looks at it from both sides, right? One aspect I can think of is population control. We want more people on the planet. We need more worker bees. We need more people in order to get these things done, right? You can't have an elite without a poor. You can't have a middle class without the top and bottom. Even though the middle class is kind of disappearing, but that's neither here nor there. But the issue that is arising is that the replacement level is not where it needs to be. And because this aspect of Roe v. Wade, going to get it done after you find out that you're pregnant, has become quite an issue for the replacement level. Not only the fact that people just aren't making them anymore, or children anymore, because they can't afford them. There are moments where you have people that have one night stands and decide, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. You know, so I can see where some people be like, well, you need to be more accountable for your decisions. So if you're just running willy-nilly, then you have to deal with those decisions. That's one side of it. I understand it. Now, the flip side is, what if it was taken by force? Should that person have to carry that child? No, I don't agree that they should. That should be definitely a choice. Now, there are a lot of extenuating circumstances that you can use as reference points for Roe v. Wade. And a lot of them I can totally understand. I'm not going to deny those things. I think most people's concern or most people's issues is that people were using this as a form of birth control. Even though there were plenty of other options, I've heard a lot of excuses or a lot of reasonings as to why that was the best choice versus all the other options beforehand. Because in this society today, we're more of a reactionary group compared to a preventative group. You know, we'll react to something after it happens, even though we know what this leads to. You get what I'm saying? Everybody know if you jump in there without a raincoat, or you let them jump in without a raincoat, that this could potentially be the end result. But for some reason, everyone argues about the fact that, oh, well, if they are this, then it's still their choice. Yeah, but what were the choices before that? How did you get to this point? Why don't we ever talk about how do you get to this point? Minus the extenuating circumstances. I'm not talking about that. Because any of the extenuating circumstances, I totally agree with, I totally understand. We're not talking about that. What I'm talking about is the people that had the one night stands, the people who were married and running willy-nilly with the neighbor. And they want to get rid of the side babies. The women who know that the men don't want children, but yet they try to trap them. The men who go out of their way to trap the women. You know, where's the personal responsibility in all of it? We don't talk about that. We always just talk about, oh, well, they should be able to go do it. I mean, I can tell you stories where people went and got it done. And there were complications where they had to go to the hospital afterwards, and those locations did not want to be caught for messing something up during the surgery, so they tried to send them out of state. And it caused more problems for those females internally. But this was an option in their mind to go get done instead of the preventative thing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that if you want to do it, hey, that's between you and God. It ain't got nothing to do with me, because I ain't here to judge. I'm just explaining why I see both. Because let's be clear, people getting rid of babies been going on since the 1800s, but it was done by people with wealth. Then you had, Margaret Sanger coming up with the eugenics program that then became Planned Parenthood. Now Planned Parenthood has evolved into something else where they do provide health care to the women that do go to those facilities. Now, granted, they are within the poor areas of poverty. And also, we have to be realistic. Since the Planned Parenthood has been started just amongst people of color, there have been over 20 million children that have been removed or not been able to make it to, potentially become something. And there's extenuating circumstances for that too. They were just not capable of handling a child or didn't have the money. Who knows? But that's just a realistic aspect of it. So I'm not, once again, not here to judge, but we have to be realistic. It's a population issue.
President Trump, on behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank you for the historic victory for life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
They need more bodies, flat out. They need more American citizens, because at the end of the day, we're not having as many American citizens as everybody else in the world. China has fixed their replacement level because their one child rule ended up biting them in the butt after they thought they got everything regulated, ended up coming back to harm. So now they like make babies. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with the Japanese, so on and so forth. Anytime they tried to overcorrect something, it became a problem as far as life continuing on their land. So this is what you're seeing now, an overcorrection. So now they're like, hey, we got to fix this. And this one lady said something very interesting. She said, since the Supreme Court removed it from federal, now you get to see how democracy works. And I was like, that's interesting. What do you mean? So as I continued to listen, now this is not somebody I know personally, this was online. The lady said, this is where your voting comes in, because you have to vote for the people to get in office who are going to push the agenda that you want. So if you want to have the freedom for your body, your choice, then whoever your elected officials are only come if all y'all vote on it. That's it. But until then, what you're also seeing is men are getting vasectomies at a higher level, which then means what? That a lot of these women, they may not, and this is going to be real funny. If men don't disclose this and women keep saying, I'm pregnant, telling these dudes, girl, I got a vasectomy. I'm on a pill. I don't know what you're talking about. That ain't my baby. You're going to start seeing a lot of women having to take real responsibility for these children that they try to put on people. Yikes. But that's just my thought. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments section, and be on the lookout for more videos. All right, everybody? Peace.